It's shortly after 1:30 p.m. on the second day of March 2002. This is Chili Calvin Castine for Hometown Cable in beautiful downtown Lake Placid. And we're here for the Parade of Champions as Lake Placid and the surrounding community honors our local Olympian medalist. You're looking at the skating rink that for people my age and others who can remember back 22 years holds a lot of Olympic history. Back on February 8th, February 8th, 1980, the Olympic torch arrived in Lake Placid for the 1980 Winter Olympics, and there was a ceremony right here at the speed skating oval. And this area around the oval was the site of many important events throughout the Olympics, and those of us, of course, certainly remember Eric Heiden's 5 gold medals back in 1980 on this very same speed skating oval. It's a cool day, a windy day, a breathtaking day when you get out in the wind. The snow-capped mountains are in the background. Here, of course, in front of the Lake Placid High School, and right next to this venue that offers so many things year-round here, the Lake Placid Olympic Center, located right next to the high school. And the streets of Lake Placid are alive for most of the year to begin with visitors, but particularly today, as we get set for the parade honoring the champions, the Parade of Champions here. The governor, the congressmen, and other dignitaries will be arriving. Lots and lots of news media. Local NBC affiliate WPTZ is carrying this parade live, and they've got a whole bunch of equipment here to make that all happen. So we're going to wander over there and try to get a good perch and pick up today's happenings here on Hometown Cable.
Right up there. Yeah, you're in a good spot here.
Here's where the Channel 5 crew are situated. Tom Halleck and Stephanie Gorn braving the elements. But it's a job they probably would not willingly pass up today, even though it's very chilly weather on this second day of March. Traffic continuing to flow as more and more people get here, hoping to catch a glimpse of the parade. We knew our buddy Jack LeDuc would be here from WCAX Channel 3, but we spotted a remote truck for them too, so apparently they are also going live. So that's at least 2 of our local affiliates, CBS affiliate WCAX, also going live with this coverage. So we take this view of the Olympic Center and the announcement board announcing a bunch of coming events, including in the not too distant future a whole bunch of the Olympic ice skaters will be competing here, not competing but performing here. Always something exciting going on in Lake Placid, jewel of the Adirondacks. The parade will be turning through here. They're trying to hold down that rug which is covering the wires. I would assume those are for Channel 5. Or they might be, well, I'm not going to speculate. They could be for the podium, which is over here, which is where the governor and the congressman will be. They will be situated over here, hopefully. It doesn't get too packed in that area. We brought along our faithful sidekick. And Judy Castine is here to help carry our equipment and make sure I stay in line. We got a group of kids that are trying to start their own parade here. Walking the parade route, getting the feel of what it would be like to actually be in the parade. Waving the flags and having a hearty time. The parade has come into view. It's a very short parade from what we've been told. And hopefully the people who have packed around us since we arrived here will not jump in front of us and block out our view like this lady is trying to do. They're going to be turning in here.
Danny, are we turning them in at Cummings or under the
Alright, looks like they've changed plans here and they decided at the last moment not to turn them. There's the Lake Placid High School Marching Band. Whether the Olympians will turn into the area to our left. Looks like they will. Looks like the Olympians will turn. The non-Olympians will keep going through. Olympic torch bearers are coming. Remember Dr. Robert Lopez from Westport back in 1980, carrying the torch in. Governor Pataki leading the parade, and I knew these people would jump out in front of me here. I just get here an hour before, and we need an armed guard to keep these people back. Looks like they will be coming through. We see Assemblyman Little, Assemblyman Ortloff, Ronald Stafford, our state senator, and didn't notice the Congressman McHugh there, although he certainly might be. There's the Saranac Lake Fire Department truck. Looks like it's owned by our radio station now. Antique fire truck. And here comes Jim Shea, third generation of the Shea family. In the Olympics, skeleton gold medalist. And an ever-present, effervescent smile. Selkin coaching staff. Chris Soul, skeleton. Leanne Parsley, skeleton. And of course we've got the Shea family coming up very shortly. And holding her silver medal. Comes the Shea family, of course the tragedy with the patriarch, Mr. Jack Shea, being killed in an automobile accident shortly before the Olympics began. Bobsled coaching staff, Andrea Kilborn from Bloomingdale. Salt Lake City volunteers. Volunteers that went to Salt Lake City for the Olympics. And as I said, it's a very brief parade. And we've got some flags coming. And I think that's the end of the parade, just some people bearing flags coming through after. And now we have the mass rush to, there's my wife up there leading the pack. We have the mass rush here. We're going to keep the camera rolling. This is the mass rush to cover what's happening here with the governor and other dignitaries. So shut the camera off and pick it up as we get to the staging area. Candace Luck up there, along with Senator Stafford. These people are suffering. This is Senator Ortloff. A very windy day. Senator Little, Governor Pataki. Very, very windy day, and not much protection from the wind up there. So we're going to assume that any speeches will be short. You see the Olympians. And look at the crowd here. Look at the swell of people crowding around, getting a glimpse of their local heroes. And again, the backdrop, the snow-capped mountains, the flags representing the various countries blowing in the wind here outside the high school and Olympic Center. And for the most part, people have forgotten about the cold and are enjoying the moment. Now we're going to assume that everyone facing this way toward us is facing this way for a reason, and we'll try to get a picture of them, because if they should see this, it'll be important to them. This is their moment in the spotlight. And of course, the Olympics, no stranger to Assemblyman Ortloff. As we're taping this, we just recently ran in the Charter Communications area, the program that Bob Venn and I did with Chris several years back, touring the Olympic venues. And Chris was the Awards and Ceremonies Chairman back in 1980 for the Lake Placid Olympic Organizing Committee. And it was through Chris that a group I was with at the time presented American flags to all the American medalists. And if I were still active with that group, I would be making sure somebody would be doing that today, presenting flags to these American medalists. But since I'm no longer associated with that group, we won't be doing that.
Everybody doing? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Lake Placid, New York, USA! We'd also like to welcome everyone from Northern New York, Vermont, and our Canadian friends to the north who are joining us via live television broadcasts, as well as all of our friends in the media who are covering this wonderful homecoming event. I'm Dennis Ryan, and we're gathered here in the winter sports capital of the world, site of both the 1932 and 1980 Olympic Winter Games. And by the way, of the 34 USA medalists at Salt Lake, 24 of them trained right here in Lake Placid. 9 weeks ago to the day, thousands of us welcomed the Salt Lake City Olympic Torch Run as it passed through our beautiful Adirondack Mountains. And our spirits were lifted as the flame was carried onto the speed skating oval, held high by our own 1932 two-time Olympic gold medalist, Jack Shea. 3 weeks ago, at the opening ceremonies, we were thrilled at the sight of the torch being passed to Jack's son Jim and grandson Jimmy. They held it high. Today we welcome all of our Olympians home to Lake Placid. Hockey silver medalist Andrea Kilborn. Skeleton silver medalist Leanne Parsley. Chris Soul, the Soul Man, who competed in skeleton. And Olympic gold medalist Jimmy Shea. Lake Placid is also home to the United States Luge Association, and for the second Olympic Winter Games in a row, U.S. Luge brought home bronze and silver medals in doubles. Though not able to join us, we want to recognize bronze medalists Chris Thorpe and Clay Ives, along with silver medalists Mark Grimmett and Brian Martin. Also, 4th place singles finisher Adam Height and 5th place singles finisher Becky Wilczak. Finally, we're not done yet. We'd like to recognize Nordic Combined athlete Bill DeMond. Bill couldn't be here with us because just yesterday he placed 4th in the World Cup in Finland. So let's give all a round of applause. Now it's my pleasure to introduce a few of the area dignitaries joining us in this homecoming celebration. We have the Lake Placid Village Trustees, the Town of North Elba board members, the Olympic Regional Development Authority board members. Representing the United States Olympic Training Center at Lake Placid, we have Jack Favreau and Tracy Lamb. The Lake Placid Essex County Visitors Bureau with Jim McKenna, the president. The Saranac Lake Village Trustees. The Town of Harrietstown Supervisor Larry Miller. And the Saranac Lake Chamber of Commerce, Mary Agnes Pelletieri, the Executive Director. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remove your hats and place your hands over your hearts as the Saranac Lake Vocal Ensemble, under the direction of Olympian Bill DeMond's mother, Helen DeMond, performs our national anthem. Everyone's life in northern New York has been touched by our next speaker. He was instrumental in getting the Olympic Winter Games back to Lake Placid in 1980 and has been unwavering in his support of keeping Lake Placid and the Olympic region in the forefront of winter sports through constant upgrading of our venues and Olympic Training Center. Please welcome, ladies and gentlemen, one of the good guys, Senator Ronald B. Stafford.
Thank you. My friend, isn't it great to have the governor here with us today for this great celebration? And as Kimmy pointed out, we wouldn't have this celebration if it hadn't been for the governor's foresight, his dedication, his understanding, his interest in our area, and in the luge run, the skeleton run, the bobsled run, all of the venues, all of our area. Ladies and gentlemen, a person who has done more for this area than anyone in the history of the world, our governor, Governor Nelson.
Thank you, Senator Stafford. Hey, it's great to be back in Lake Placid. I'll tell you, this is not just a great village. This is the greatest Olympic village anywhere in the world. And it's great being back here. And you know, Ron, Senator Stafford, we are proud of the money we put into the Olympic facilities, and they are world class, and they're just going to get better and better. But what makes Lake Placid are all of you. The people, the volunteers, the community that gives the spirit to make sure that we produce time and again the greatest athletes in the world. So you should all give yourselves a round of applause. We're so proud of you and the spirit that you show day in and day out. You know, on September 11th, we all suffered a horrible, horrible blow. Our state and our country were subjected to the worst attack we've ever experienced in our lifetimes. And yet today, I know that we are more unified, more committed to defending our freedoms, and more confident of our belief in America as the greatest country in the world than we were on the morning of September 11th. And we needed inspiration. We got it on the morning of September 11th from the firefighters and the police officers and the emergency service workers. We got it again in Salt Lake City when the flag that flew over the World Trade Centers was carried into the Olympic Stadium. And we got it finally when some of our own from right here in Lake Placid and Saranac Lake and around the area won in ways that have never experienced before by America. We're proud of all of you. We're proud of those who've inspired us since September 11th. And we are certainly all proud of the great Olympians this great Olympic village produces. And Andrea was telling me, if New York State were taken alone, in Salt Lake City, we would have been the 15th country in the world in medals because of what we produced from right here in Lake Placid. And let me just say that our Olympians, with their competitiveness, with their success, most importantly, with their humanity, have inspired us. We're all proud of what they did in Salt Lake City. Imagine what they could do back here with an Olympic in Lake Placid. And let's work to make sure that we don't just think back on 1960 and 1980. Let's look forward and do it again and bring the Winter Olympics back to Lake Placid. And I know my colleagues here, Senator Stafford, Assemblyman Portloff, Assemblywoman Betty Little, and a great congressman who's our partner in Washington that helps us get the $50 million we put into the Olympic facilities here, John Sweeney. We're going to all work together to make this happen. But this is a day for the athletes. I just want to congratulate Leanne. We are very proud of you. You may be from Ohio, but you train in Lake Placid, so we're going to claim you. And Andrea, congratulations to you. Not only do you train here, you're from Saranac Lake, so we can proudly claim you. And you know, there were a lot of emotional moments at the Olympics, but not just for the people of the North Country and Lake Placid, not just for the people of New York, but the people of America were inspired by one particular story. I think probably everybody here knew Jack Shea. knew what a tremendous, legendary figure he was, not just for Lake Placid, but for the Olympic movement around the world. And tragically, 19 days before Salt Lake City, we lost Jack. And a lesser person than his grandson would have had a hard time carrying on and competing. But let me tell you something. There's a family legacy there of Jack Shea from 1932, of his son Jim Shea at the Olympics after that, and his grandson. And his grandson didn't just compete. He didn't just compete with his grandfather's card in his helmet and the bracelet of a firefighter who died in the World Trade Center, Tommy Kasoria, on his arm. He competed with love in his heart and integrity in his mind, and he brought home the gold medal for Lake Placid, for his family, for New York, and for the people of America. So Jim Shea, we are so proud of you. We are so grateful for what you did. And you know, Jack Shea used to drive around in a car that had gold 32 on it. Jimmy, you're going to be driving around in a car that has gold 02 on it. Congratulations to all of you. Let's do it again. God bless you.
All right. How about that? Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce another strong supporter of the entire Olympic region in the Adirondacks and the great state of New York, and especially the northern part of the great state of New York. Let's hear it for our representative in Washington, Congressman John Sweetie.
Thank you, Dennis. What an honor, what a privilege it is to be here today as part of these really important welcome home ceremonies to some of the greatest athletes in the world. And Governor Pataki spoke of the fact that if New York were a separate state, the 15th place finisher would have been this state. One of the other important numbers that we need to remember is 65% of all the athletes who train for the United States team train right here in Lake Placid, and we're so proud of every one of them, and I thank every one of them for their commitment. Leanne, it was a thrilling run, and I know you're from Ohio, but you did train here, and we're always going to consider you to be one of ours. And when you went down that trail, when you went down and you challenged the world, we considered you to be a Lake Placid person. God bless you, and thanks for being here. And Andrea, that hockey team showed the discipline, the commitment that we know you learned an awful lot growing up here in the North Country. We know you trained an awful lot here, and we're proud of you being here. I have to tell you what a difference a fast sled makes, though. A month ago, we had our annual congressional challenge here in Lake Placid. I've brought members from all over the country to show the beauty of this pristine place and the history of this place in an effort to promote the idea that we're going to bring back another Olympics. And Jimmy Shea lobbied and worked hard to make sure he got a seat at the table with all the members of Congress who were here. And yesterday, I had the privilege of being in New York City as Jimmy gave something back to the people of this country, and I was holding the door for Jimmy as he went in and out of all those venues, and I was so proud of him. His visit to Ground Zero, his visit to Bellevue Children's Hospital shows you the heart and the commitment of a real champion. Jimmy said something to me before the Olympics, before we knew he was going to be a gold medalist, although we had a good feeling that he had a real shot at it. He said that he wanted to create a foundation for kids so we could show them the thrills and the victories of athleticism and winter sports. And I say to Jimmy, now you're a gold medalist, now it's your time. I commit to work with you. I know the governor commits to work with you. We're going to make that happen. We're going to bring more world-class athletes here to Lake Placid. It'll be good for Lake Placid, it'll be good for New York, and it'll be good for America and the youth of America. I am so proud to be here and so proud to represent all of you. God bless you for your commitment, and God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, Congressman Sweeney, and thank you for everything you do for the area. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it's my pleasure to introduce the supervisor of the town of North Elba. Please give a big Olympic welcome to Shirley Seeney.
Isn't it great? Aren't you proud of the North Country? Aren't you proud of the youth of our North Country and of the state of New York for how well they represent us in everything they do? We should be so fortunate and happy that we have young people who devote all of their time to representing us in the athletics that they really excel in. To each and every one of you, we're proud of you. We're really happy that you've done and acquired what you have worked so hard for. And there's no way that we can ever thank them for the prestigious elements they brought to the North Country. God bless each and every one of you. We love you, and keep up the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Shirley. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you the man who oversees the day-to-day operations of all of the Olympic facilities here in Lake Placid. Let's hear it for the president of the Olympic Regional Development Authority, Ted Blazer.
Good afternoon, everybody. We're so proud for New York State to maintain these wonderful Olympic facilities here in Lake Placid. And thanks to Governor Pataki, Senator Stafford, our assembly members, and Congressman Sweeney, we have the best facilities in the whole world. But you know, there's one thing that's very important. We may have the facilities, but the athlete wouldn't have the keys to get out of the venues if it wasn't for Jack Favreau, Tracy Lamb, and the great staff over at the U.S. Olympic Training Center here in Lake Placid. We need them. You heard me say at the Empire State Games, yes, we like Salt Lake City, but we love New York and we love Lake Placid. Congratulations to the athletes.
Thanks, Ted. How about this beautiful Lake Placid winter day? Isn't this great? Now, we'd love to introduce the mayor of the village of Saranac Lake. Let's hear it for Tom Catillus. He's got a special presentation.
Andrea, would you come up here, please? I'm very proud to hand you this right now and present you with the key to your hometown, Saranac Lake.
And now I'd like to invite the mayor of the village of Lake Placid. Let's hear it for Mr. Roby Politi.
Thank you all for your spirit and enthusiasm. I know that our Olympians are very appreciative. And thank you, North Country, for turning out today, and particularly our good friends and neighbors from Saranac Lake. Yes, it is a great pleasure to have Governor Pataki with us today to welcome back our athletes. Thank you, Governor, for coming to Lake Placid on this memorable day. One of the enjoyable aspects of being the mayor of Lake Placid is that from time to time you get to honor those people who make your community so special. Many of the athletes competing at the Winter Games have either lived or trained here, as you heard. We welcome a few of them home today, and it is my privilege to honor them with the keys to our village. We are proud of their accomplishments, and we are proud of the manner in which they've represented their country, their community, and their sport.
First, Leanne Parsley. Chris Soul. Chris Soul's not here. Jimmy Shea. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite our Assemblywoman Betty Little and our Assemblyman Chris Ortloff to present the traditional flowers to our athletes. Tim Healy is the U.S. Postal Service Manager of the Albany District, and he would like to present a special U.S. Postal Service commemorative gift to our athletes. Thank you, Tim. And now, let's hear some comments from our champions. Ladies first, Andrea.
Hi, Saranac Lake. Hi, Lake Placid, everyone else from all over the area. Thanks a lot for coming. This really means a lot to me, and I'm sure to everyone else that's up here. I'm not really sure what to do with this key. What door does it open? The bank. Okay, sweet. I want to use this opportunity to thank a lot of people that helped me get to where I am today. You all know it's not an easy road to become an Olympian and to become a medalist. And I think growing up in an area like this, in Saranac Lake, Lake Placid, you have so much support behind you that I think you should all be really proud of yourselves for producing the athletes that you produce, for being the type of community that you are, for being just a great place to raise kids to grow up, and a great place to represent when you go to the big show in Salt Lake City. I really want to thank Saranac Lake Civic Center, Saranac Lake Pee Wee Hockey Association. I was a rink rat. I'm not going to deny it, and they never kicked me out of the building. They never told me girls can't play hockey. And that obviously is, imperative to where I am today. Also, Lake Placid Pee Wee Hockey Association, the arena and Orta, Denny Allen and all the guys he's got working for him. He's done so much for our program, for women's hockey in general, for myself. He let me use ice whenever I wanted it, and thanks a lot to them. Thanks a lot to all my coaches, Larry Barney. I didn't see you out here today, but you're probably here somewhere. Tom Broderick at Northwood, all the staff there, all my teachers. I went to my old alma mater, St. Bernard School, yesterday, and it was really special to see, my kindergarten teacher, Miss Nason. She's still teaching kids, and she's still giving kids the confidence that they need to become something great for themselves. So thank you, all teachers, all coaches, everyone in the community, and obviously, most importantly, to my parents. They raised me with the confidence that I needed to, first have a dream and then to achieve it. So I really thank them a lot. Thanks, Saranac Lake, Lake Placid, everyone.
Thank you, Andrea. Let's hear it for Leanne Parsley.
I may be from Ohio, but right now I feel like a New Yorker, so I appreciate that. We enjoy coming out here to train. It's with only 2 tracks in the United States. We certainly enjoy the facility out here. We came my first time out here, the old track. I've heard so many stories about the old Lake Placid track, and I unfortunately never got the opportunity to go down it, but the money that you put into the new facilities is outstanding. Today we had 2 heats of our first U.S. Nationals out here, and we had track records today, so it goes to show you the effort they're putting in out there. We hope if the weather holds and you're not busy, come out tomorrow morning. We've got 2 more runs to go down. Come out and see us. But again, thank you very much for making us feel at home today, especially me. I know these guys live here, so thank you very much. We appreciate it.
As I said before, we were all thrilled to the bottom of our hearts to watch opening ceremonies as the Olympic torch was passed and held high by Jim Shea and his son Jimmy. And now they've returned, and Jimmy has something else he's brought with him to hold high above his head, his Olympic gold medal. Let's hear it for Jimmy Shea.
Wow. I've got so much to say. I'm not going to say very much because it's really cold out here. But you know, it's amazing that I gotta tell you that this is the gold medal is great. But I tell you, man, there's a lot of people behind this. I'm the very, very, very tip of a huge mountain, a huge support system. People at the track. There's so many people that helped me get to this point. It's really the Adirondack or New York medal. I like to think of it. One of the great things about Lake Placid is when all my friends from the World Cup, they come here, and one of the first things they notice the way that people act. They notice the way we take care of ourselves, the way we encourage our kids, and they all look at us, the Swiss and the Germans, they go, wow, you know, it's really amazing here, the way everybody takes care of each other. And you guys should be really, really proud of the way you are, the people you are. I was really, really proud to be able to represent you guys and during the games, and I just want to say thanks, man. It's good to be home.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's all join in as the Lake Placid Chorus. 90 people, under the direction of Kim Weems and with soloist Kendra Bailey, sings God Bless America.
A song that belongs to longtime Lake Placid resident Kate Smith, who made her home up here in the Adirondacks. And Kate Smith and God Bless America. And now we're going to hear it from the Lake Placid group. And I should point out that I was under the assumption that Congressman McHugh was a congressman from Lake Placid, but I find out now that it's Congressman Sweeney. I didn't realize that that district, he was in a separate district.
As we
Lake Placid and the Olympic dreams of those who will come to Lake Placid to train for future games is alive and well here as well. Thank you for coming. God bless Lake Placid, God bless New York, and God bless America. We have chocolate and hot chocolate cookies over here.
Yeah, that'll wrap up Hometown Cable's coverage of the Parade of Champions honoring our 2002 Olympic medalist from the Olympic Center in beautiful downtown Lake Placid. You've been watching Hometown Cable. And thanks for watching, and for those of you supporting, and thanks to my compatriots today, my faithful companion Judy, for coming along and making sure that I'm going to leave with all the equipment that I came with. So thanks for watching and for supporting Hometown Cable's ongoing efforts.